Hello viewers, welcome to my channel IIT JEE Olympiad and AP Physics with Ambarish, and in today's video I brought another exciting challenge for all of you, and this challenge is dedicated to all our brave soldiers fighting at Galwan Valley. So let's straight away get to the challenge, and the challenge is like this. The title of the challenge is A Battle with Sticks and Slabs. As you know that the arms and ammunitions are not allowed and the soldiers are fighting with sticks and maybe slabs. So what's the challenge? Enough is enough, shouted Colonel Ambarish Ahlawat of 10th Jat Regiment, and the battalion started slapping the enemy at Galwan Valley enthusiastically. Assume that each enemy soldier has a mass M, which is assumed a point mass initially at rest, and each slap imparts an impulse J in a completely random direction parallel to the ground, which is assumed flat and smooth. Find the average kinetic energy of an enemy soldier after n number of slaps. Here n is large. So this is a little non-conventional problem. You won't find it generally in IIT JEE textbooks. If you want to try, you can try for 5 or 10 minutes. Pause the video here and then we'll straight away get to the solution. Alright. So let's look at the solution. So the key idea in our solution is that if we can somehow find the average expected components of momenta, that is px and py, after n number of impulses, then we could simply write the final kinetic energy average expected is px square average. This angular brackets I have used to indicate average. So average x momentum square upon 2m plus average y momentum square by 2m. So I'm sure all of you are aware how we get this. You know that kinetic energy is p square by 2m, which can always be written in two dimension as px square by 2m plus py square by 2m. So this is the key idea. Now we'll try to find the average expected components of the momenta. How will we do that? We'll see in just a bit. And before we get into that, one more thing that you all must be knowing is that if theta is a random variable between 0 and 360 degree, then the average value of cos square theta, which is same as average value of sine square theta, which is half. Of course, you can prove it using calculus. You can do integration of cos square theta from 0 to 2 pi and then divide it by 2 pi. But a simple logic is, you know that cos square theta plus sine square theta is 1. So average value of cos square theta plus sine square theta is 1, and by symmetry each one of them then must have an average value of half each. So this is one result that we'll be using without getting the maths of it, which is fairly simple. So that is, theta is random variable between 0 to 360, then average value of cos square theta and sine square theta both is half. Now look at this. So the enemy soldier is being slapped left, right and center randomly, and let us say Ji is the ith impulse imparted to the enemy soldier. So if this is Ji, you can always write Ji as, now magnitude of Ji is J. So this is J cos theta I cap and J sin theta J cap. So that's what I have written. You can see the ith impulse on the particle, that is the enemy soldier, can be written as J cos theta I cap and sin theta I J cap, where theta is the angle that ith impulse makes with the x-axis. Okay, so this is the ith impulse. Now you know that by impulse momentum theorem, the total change in momentum is equal to total impulse imparted, and since initial momentum is 0, therefore we can simply say that total x component of impulse and total x component of momentum therefore will be simply px is equal to sigma jx. That is sigma ji. So you can see that j cos theta 1, so theta 1, theta 2, theta 3 etc. respective angles of impulses j1, j2, j3 and so on. So we can simply say that summation of the x component of impulses will be simply, because magnitude of each of impulse is j, so it will be j times cos theta 1 plus cos theta 2 plus cos theta 3 and so on up to cos theta n. So this is your x component of the momentum. Now so you are interested in finding p square and not just p. So what we can do is, now we can square the x component of momentum. So we will do the square of both sides. In the next slide I'm going to show you that what we'll get. But from here itself you can see, if you are going to take the whole square, this will become a j square, and then if you square this whole term you will get cos square theta 1, cos square theta 2, cos square theta 3 etc. And then there are going to be product terms, that is 2 cos theta 1 cos theta 2, then 2 cos theta 1 cos theta 3 etc. So let's look at what we get. Let's see it on the slide. So if you square that, squaring the x component of momentum, you will get jx square is equal to, as I said just a little while ago, j square into cos square theta 1 plus cos square theta 2 and so on up till cos square theta n. And plus there will be product terms of cos theta I, cos theta j. So what will those terms look like? 2 cos theta 1, cos theta 2, 2 cos theta 1, cos theta 3 and so on. Now you need to pay a little careful attention over here. You can see that the product terms, so theta 1 is equally likely to be in any of the quadrants. So that means what? There is equal likelihood of 2 cos theta 1 cos theta 2 being positive as it is being negative. So if cos theta 1 cos theta 2 both are positive, that is they are both in either the first quadrant or the fourth quadrant, this terms become positive. Okay, so first and fourth quadrant will make this positive, and second and third quadrant will make this product negative. So that means what? The average expected value of all these blue terms is going to be 0. And what about the average expected value of each of the red terms? We just stated the fact that average value of cos square theta is half. So this is cos square theta 1, that is, so we can add a half for each of the cos square theta terms. So what you will get? N times n by 2 times cos square theta, right? So we'll just put it on the slide. So average estimated value of px square, just that becomes, so half plus half plus half plus half, this is n number of terms, and there is j square, so j square into n by 2. So this is the average expected squared momentum. Now similarly we can also do for y. So in y, what you will get by symmetry, you can see instead of cos square theta you are going to get sin square theta terms, and here there will be 2 sin theta I, sin theta j type of terms. Again they'll average out to 0. So by symmetry we can say that average squared y momentum is also n by 2 j square. And now you can simply find the kinetic energy, and this is what you will get. So px square by 2m averaged plus py square by 2m averaged, and just you need to just plug in, and then finally you get the answer. That is, average kinetic energy is n times j square by 2m. This is our final answer. So I hope all of you like this video, and I want to thank all of you for subscribing to my channel and supporting my channel. So if you did like this video, please do subscribe if you have not already subscribed, and share this channel as much as possible with your friends. For the students, they can share it with their friends, and if you're a teacher, you can share it with your students, and do give it a thumbs up. That's all for this video. See you in the next video. Thank you very much.